Yo, what's good? Hope everybody's doing well. Today is May 23rd, 2024, and we have some new developments. So today we have the Ethereum spot ETF. It was approved. This does have some things that comes with it. It tells us that one, the SEC does not see the Ethereum, whole thing that they have going on as far as them being a decentralized computer or having all these things that they can do. They don't see them as a security. So that's a great thing. This also means more institutional flows for the protocol, for crypto in general, and a lot of other things. So let's talk about it. I'm a little excited about it. Now, does this mean Ethereum's going to go to 10,000 tomorrow? No. So if you thought that was going to happen, it's not. As you can kind of look at the chart, we'll probably look at it here in a bit. We're actually still in the same spot that we were in just before the announcement of the Ethereum ETF. But what does this mean? It's a trickle through time, just another avenue for people to be able to get money into Ethereum in particular. And that's always a good thing, okay? So despite what anybody may say, with all the talking heads may say, hey, well, this and that, and there's not going to be any interest for this and X, Y, and Z. I've already looked at a couple things today, but as I kind of look at it as an investor, a long-term investor in Ethereum, Ethereum's probably, it's probably my longest holding that I've even had, currently to date. And that's just me being honest. So I'm looking at this from a lens of, okay, hey, not just what's only going to happen this cycle, but hey, how are the Ethereum's bag going to look all the way, even let's say until 2030? Okay. And so this is a good move because this allows a lot more utility in a sense for Ethereum in a way of say, hey, utility in my eyes is saying, okay, do people have access to this? How much ability does that have? Like how much ability can someone have while having Ethereum in terms of getting access to it on not just a custody level, but what can they do with it outside of just holding on to it and for price appreciation? One thing that I've talked about and I've done a stream on it is actually using your wealth within crypto to actually get you real life utility. A lot of wealthy people do it with other asset classes, and crypto was just now finally on the way where you can go ahead and get some type of tax-free yield or some type of tax-free payment back to yourself by using your asset as collateral. But you only want to do a small bit of it. Like we're not talking like 50% or 60, like 5 to 10% maybe, because we know that we are in an asset class that on a basis of, let's say, 4 years, like the compound growth rate, right? These things are, 90, 120, 130%. So, this is what wealthy people do. And Ethereum now being a little bit more institutionalized, that becomes more real for those that may be accumulating large amounts of wealth through Ethereum, for them to be able to say, okay, let me actually take a little bit of this, use this for my actual life, right? Without having to dilute the bags and still get that price appreciation, but still get that fiat that they need to pay for their bills or whatever the case may be moving forward. So that's the lens that I'm looking at it through in terms of utility, real world utility in that sense. Getting access to debt is one way to do that. So that's neither here nor there. That's a little bit more high level, but let's actually look at some things in regards to what everybody's talking about today. So we did recently have just a little post that's kind of been going around. Let me see if I could find it. So we have this kind of going around, and this looks to have some legs with it. So it substantiates the fact that as of, we're talking today, just a few hours ago, the Securities and Exchange Commission, they have this release note. It's basically, saying that the self-regulatory organizations, NYSE Areas Inc., the NASDAQ, CBO, like all the places where essentially this is going to be able to be traded, they've given the thumbs up here. So this is great. To list and trade shares of Ether-based exchange traded products. So that's what we've all been waiting now. This may take some time before they can actually get it up. Like, we're talking about the NASDAQ and CBOE, some of the largest exchanges now. And it may take them a couple of months to actually get this tradable. But this is a beautiful thing. And this affects not just Ethereum. This also checks the box for other protocols being what may have you a commodity, hence post chain. Let me see if this guy Richard Hart has said anything about this yet, but this is what he's saying. Let's take a look. So, I mean, he's saying these things from a while ago, but recently the Ethereum ETF and ETP have been approved. A short story in pictures. Basically, he's been calling this for a long time. But here's the thing. He's also saying, I think the SEC still has 10 days for a dissenting commissioner to dissent and challenge the approval. So don't count your chickens till it hatches. So basically, we got to wait 10 days. And this is why I love Richard Hart, man, because he's actually giving a little bit more alpha on the whole process before he started making, financial decisions to understand the system, how it works. They got 10 days to maybe do a rebuttal here. So this is something to consider, but this is a good development for post chain, but also Ethereum. So this is pretty dope. I'm glad that he had something to say about that. And we're gonna lead over to, once again, the aspect of what makes Ethereum investable, and it is going to be a learning process for these guys on institutional level. They're not crypto native. First of all, they're not going to dive deep into this burning function and all this other stuff, being able to do NFTs and dApps and all, because Bitcoin don't do none of that stuff, right? But or not to the extent of what Ethereum can do. Let me say that. But as far as being sound money, as far as it being something that is not inflating away, as far as it being something that is holding your purchasing power much better than fiat, it has it just like how Bitcoin does. So people will realize that after a while. A lot of these guys are saying oh, well, it's going to be hard to pitch it to some of the clients, at Fidelity and BlackRock or whatever, And through time, I don't think so. They're going to see the chart doing what it's going to do and say, hey, I want that. I want to preserve my capital. And at the end of the day, they just need a little bit more price data, price history, because that's what Bitcoin has. They'll continue to see that Ethereum is going to have that as well. But, as of right now, $3,700 some change is where we're at. In other news, what else did we have? So we had NVIDIA do their thing. I did a video on this the other day or yesterday after me kind of looking at things. NVIDIA had a good day with their earnings, yesterday. They're the only thing that is green today. So, yes, Ethereum's still going to be correlated with the whole market here. And it's holding pretty good. It didn't go down. It actually slightly ticked up. So now what you have to extrapolate and say, okay, what about if the whole market is doing well and Bitcoin's doing well? Now what is Ethereum going to do? I don't think it's going to lag no more, y'all. This is so I like to call it the tide shifts, okay? The change of momentum and understanding now what is accessible, what can happen. I think what is accessible now is that once Ethereum has its ETF up and running, it's not going to lag behind Bitcoin, so that Bitcoin dominance is slowly going to slow down, and Ethereum is going to take some dominance alongside some other altcoins, which leads into a nice alt season. So don't fret. The whole market is down today, so if Ethereum didn't go to 5,000 today, just chill. It's going to get there. But understand there's still other larger liquidity situations going on that are still going to affect crypto, even Ethereum, even with the bullish news, okay? So in other news, we have somewhat of an announcement here from Coinbase. Now, this is something interesting. And this is what they put out a couple hours ago. They're saying, guess what? Coinbase, they loves Ethereum. They loves it. They love ETFs. Are they going to also offer the Ethereum ETF? Let's read on. So the increased engagement the spot ETFs have brought to crypto is not just a trend. It is a transformative force, reshaping the financial system. Crypto isn't just here to stay, it's the future of money. So Coinbase Prime is proud to be a trusted partner for the majority of the Ethereum ETF issuers by providing key services, including trading and financing and custody. Here's what I was talking about, including trading, financing. This is getting debt. This is being able to use your asset to get real world fiat without having to sell your asset. And like I said, you have to be smart and do it in small percentages, right? But This is key. You know who's going to want to also do this once they realize, oh, snap, they're making good money over there? JP Morgan Chase, Wells Fargo, Citibank. These banks are going to be like, oh, snap, this is an industry that we can actually really make money off of. Let us, in due time, y'all are seeing people capitulate in real time. You're seeing the SEC capitulate after they're like, no, we can't have this. No, Gary Gensler, like, I can't say if it's a security or not. Like, it's all smoke and mirrors. They all want to make money in the long run. They understand this is where it's going to be. So Coinbase as well, leading the charge like they did with Bitcoin, saying, hey, we're going to offer these services. And the companies that can offer services within crypto are going to win. So this is actually pretty bullish as well. Now, you know, and you got a lot of people commenting here. Let's see. What did Bob Lucas say? What a turn of events. So, you know, he was basically sour on the Ethereum ETF last couple months. He didn't sell any, but he bought more, is what he's saying. Okay, good for you. Good for you. What else we got? What other news? You know, Phantom obviously having a pretty good week as well. Definitely go and watch what's going over there on that, but I'm not talking about Phantom today. Vitalik right now, right? Feeling good. I mean, you know, just typical stuff, typical Twitter stuff. So, yes, this is a development. Now, let's go over to the chart. So, I mean, I know a lot of people were like, same thing as Bitcoin. Like when Bitcoin got that approval for ETF, people were like, oh man, we're going to get the biggest green candle. It's so funny, man, how these markets work because somebody knew, somebody knew this was going to happen. This is why this happened. Because somebody was like, look, let me go ahead and buy like $500 million or, a couple $100 million of Ethereum today. Because I know tomorrow, this, next couple days is about to happen. So they knew it was up right here, a couple days in advance. Insiders. So, we have some volatility around the news. If we want to put this like on a 30-minute chart. So we had some volatility. And so, this was, oh, okay. This is people kind of hearing about it, but not really. But then people were like, oh, snap. What? This is getting passed. So people dumping, but then people buying. So that volatility was all right here. But then we kind of settled back where we have been on a midline. Like we've been here basically for the past, week around like this $35 to $3,800 Ethereum, which is a very nice price, by the way. Very, very nice price. We bought Ethereum for $900 not too long ago. So feeling good about this. But with this being said, let's actually look at like a market mean in volume during this price level. And as you can see, we are right here on the average volume and average price over like the past 4 days or so, or just right below it. So what we're looking for, obviously we're still looking for support. Like we want support here for Ethereum to maintain structure, which I think as long as Bitcoin and the rest of the markets are still doing well, it should do. If those factors change, then we'll break it and go to the downside. But it looks like as of now, things are looking like they're rocking and rolling. There's earnings for some other companies coming up here this week. So, but with that being said, this is the level that we got to maintain is 36.57. But sky is the limit off of this move because here's the thing. With the move that we had a few days ago, what if we just carbon copy that and we say, hey, we just to do what we did in a day, can we do that in a span of, 3 months? Where does that put us, And then so, this is like a good exercise. Here's a little speculation for y'all because I know you guys like the speculation. So let's say if we just take a little bit of that move and say, hey, what if we can get that again? Where would that put us? And let's just put it sometime out in future, whatever. Say sometime in June. That puts us right basically back at all-time highs, y'all. So we're not far away, and with the long-term investor, we got years and years to get the butter from the duck. But really, late 2024, we still got time for that to happen and for this asset to mature in the aspect of institutions knowing about it and feeling a little bit more confident about it. So this is something to really think about. Okay. Now, to the upside, we already know this thing can go higher and farther than what a lot of people could ever expect. The whole thing is about just holding, hold. Do not lose your conviction, no matter what anybody says, and that has always been proven to make people money. Don't shake yourself out. So this is a really, like, Ethereum's chart looks great. Like, if you really think about it, yes, is it going crazy? No, but if you just look at any other asset, this is a beautiful looking chart, y'all. Like, this chart here is a beautiful thing. Like, we had this and it popped out and it used it as support. Boom. Use it as support, and then we're going up on another base level. So this chart looks very constructive for a really good quality asset that you can hold on to for a very long time, especially now that we know it's a commodity. Like, now that there's no refuting it, this is a thorough commodity. Oh yeah. Like, the whole conviction of being able to hold for 15 years, oh, that increases, by the way. And that's how you get the gains, man. Hold on to something for 15, 20 years. Like, this is all about being able to grow your nest egg and have an asset that you can utilize for the rest of your life. This is key. Okay. So this is pretty dope. On the fear and greed metric that we have for the Volster Crypto members. So, we are pretty much on the daily level, came up higher. This wasn't an investable time here back in October of 2023, but we had that opportunity once again for Ethereum, mid-May, and boom, we came up on a greed level. So it's looking pretty greedy, but not overly greedy. So, we're still at 75. So that's not too high, but at the same time, it's not low either. We're right there in the middle of the pack. Ethereum is looking nice, you guys. And so definitely go back in streams past. I flashed the Ethereum duration map on my last video. So go watch that if you want to look at some projections and some thought process on how to look at time and price for Ethereum. So here's the trade for institutional people. They are currently piling in, as you can kind of see. So let me explain to you guys this here. This chart here is the Grayscale Ethereum Trust. So the institutional guys, larger players, they have been piling into the trust. Now, there's going to be a change of hands once again for this Ethereum that's being held by Grayscale. They're probably going to sell off a lot because there's a lot of institutional people betting on the fact that, maybe one day Ethereum could, go ahead and have an ETF. They were right. So guess what? These people in TradFi, they're okay with a 300% gain for the year, or 2-year time span, or a 50% gain for the quarter. So these people, and this is like getting an average of this time period, but this has performed better than Ethereum from bottom to top of where it currently is. It's been up 600%. So that's like 3 times better. This is something to know. Okay. Now, why am I showing this chart? Is because once people understand that Ethereum is not as complicated as what people are trying to make it seem like, and they could actually stake it for themselves, right? They're going to want to have this Ethereum, right, personally. And here's the thing, I'm looking 10 years out. Okay, cool. They get the ETF version of it. Okay, cool. It's not a security, Okay, well, maybe they can put commodities on their balance sheet as a company or whatever the case may be. And they can stake it themselves. That'll lead a little bit more into the actual Ethereum price. But same thing, this is the cash and carry trade that they're doing for Ethereum. Just like how, Grayscale did it with their Bitcoin trust. So this is going to be converted into an ETF. But as you can see, very, very bullish, especially for the trust. This had double the action. This went up 45%, while spot Ethereum only went up by like 20%. So 2x better. So they know what's up. They're piling in. This is showing me like, hey, there's interest here. And then once you collect them and put them together, spot, they will trend together. So this is healthy, because if this has been trending like this, if they still have the conviction, and you're going to have some long-term players a part of the the cohort of people who are acquiring Ethereum, right? This may prove to continue on this nice trend and really start to affect the spot price even more, which is very, very bullish for Ethereum. So like this is like a perfect channel. This is actually very like very impressive for, you know, what's been going on with the Grayscale Trust. So it's pretty tight channel. So we'll see if it continues to be in here moving into 2025 and on moving forward past that. So something to understand and keep in mind. Now, Bitcoin chopping sideways, chilling, but still it is within, let's do the calculation. It's still within, we're talking 8% of the all-time high. So that's like one good day. So you have to ask yourself, hey, when things make all-time high, what do they tend to do? And they break all-time high with some pace. They tend to make nice, significant all-time highs after that. It doesn't matter what asset you're looking at. You can look at gold. For example, like this is the comparison for the TradFi folks, gold compared to Bitcoin. Let's look at gold for a second. So gold, it made an all-time high. And the interesting thing is like gold had a nasty dump the past couple of days, you know, and these are things that happen with an asset through time. But here's the thing. When we seen gold break through the all-time high, you see how high it deviated past its previous all-time high. And now, did it take some time to do it? So from August of 2020 to February 2024. So almost 4 years. And Bitcoin is something similar where it takes time to get the inertia to break through. But when it does, boom. And what we can do is just draw a fib, right? And this is just where it's at currently. We're going to see what it does in the next year or two. So gold broke the 1.6, using it as support. It may make its way to 2.6. Now it's not a fast moving volatile asset like Bitcoin or crypto, but nonetheless, it's still staying true to the Fibonacci sequence. So let's extrapolate. Very easy thing to do for Ethereum. Once we knock on that door, you know, something that's very well within range, and we just make our way to this point, 1.6 Fibonacci level. That's $7,200 Ethereum. That's pretty good. That's, you know, just about a double from where we're at. 100% in crypto is not hard to do within the span of 3, 4, 6 months. So, and this is a major asset, you guys. This is not like, this has now stepped up. This is a premium asset. Now, all these Bitcoin maxis are going to be mad because it has the same status in the eyes of the people that got the real money. Okay. So Bitcoin maxis, they can't say not much more because people see it the same way. I don't care. Like, people see this. The people that have the most money from a regulatory standpoint can now see it as the same way as they can see Bitcoin. Now let the better product, let the better ecosystem, let the better thing win through time. And they're both going to win. That's the best part about it. They're both going to win. I don't really care what you believe in. Just know that as long as money's being printed, this stuff is going to gain value. So this is a beautiful thing. So I'm really looking forward to it. You know, I'm really excited about this process. I do want to talk about, for those that are like doing a lot of movement with crypto, like, oh, let me sell this to swap for this, and let me grab this and ratio trade. Just know that don't get yourself offside. So for example, this is the Solana to Ethereum pair. So if like now is the time where you're like, oh, okay, well, Solana is just chilling. Maybe it's time for ETH to go and run. Now would not be the time to swap your Solana for Ethereum. Why? You would want to do that when it's low on the pairing, like back in July of 2023 or January 2023, right? Now with Solana, you know, basically at a high point, it's kind of like ranging here in the pair. Now is the time you want to trade a whole bunch of your Solana for Ethereum or any altcoin for that matter, right? But it is just a time to just buy Ethereum spot. Don't swap your stuff for it. It's a time for you to just go work harder out there in the world. Don't do a lot of movement in your portfolio, y'all. Like, don't mess it up. Don't dilute yourself of future gains. And so just want to show y'all this, how this is range bound. If y'all had that idea, because somebody mentioned it to me the other day. Now, last thing, this is something that I'm always paying attention to is, hey, where are we at in the derivatives market? So the leverage, what are we looking at? The leverage is looking like, hey, we could get some shorts liquidated. There's way more shorts in this market than longs. This is a very nice thing to see, cumulative. So nice, really, really, really nice. If we start eclipsing through the level of 68K, it'll lead us, because we have a very nice angular trajectory up until we get to right around 71K. Then it flattens out, less short. So we could really, really have a nice push up to 71K if we get through these shorts. Man, we need some whales to go ahead and push that price up. So this is good stuff, y'all. Like I'm really excited about this. Let's see if we can see. See if we can see the heat map. And yeah, so what this shows us right here, there's a lot of liquidations that can happen in terms of leverage once we get to this point here, about 70,000, and then even more here at about 70,500, and a little bit less, but like, yeah, this is the range. If we get up and through there, yep, we got some shorts being liquidated. We'll push through it and then find ourselves in the dark blue or blackish. So yeah, about 71 and some change. So good stuff. Let's go back and talk about this. So ultrasound money. Oh, and before we do this, let's actually go through and see what y'all had to say. Appreciate y'all for coming through for the stream. And I'm gonna close it up after this real quick. Let's see what we got. Any comments? Let's go. As always. What else we got? Swerve, would you be interested in a blockchain GPT? It's pre-launch, but my team and I are building it out. I mean, man, if it's gonna make it easier for people to get access to crypto in general, or make people smarter in terms of how they're operating with their crypto, just making more rails, I think could have some benefit. That could be something to think about. I mean, hey, if it's built right, that may be something. Yo, did they pass the bill? And I don't know if you're referring to the bill about the centralized, so the CBDC being banned. I want to say that it passed the House of them trying to pass that, saying, hey, no, like we don't want no CBDCs. If that's the bill you're talking about, but it still has to go through the Senate. So we're going to see. Now, with this being said, Ethereum has all the same talking points that you could use to pitch somebody like you can Bitcoin. Digital gold. Why is gold scarce? Because it's a commodity that basically, you can't just sit there and inflate it to oblivion. So Bitcoin has that feature, low inflation rate. Well, Ethereum has that feature as well, low inflation rate. It's actually lower than Bitcoin's currently as of today. And it's going to get even better the more that people use. It has tokenomics. And that's the best part about something that you can build on. You can create it to be better through time. I love that about Ethereum, because that's what they've done. Now, Ethereum was built to, not solve every problem, but it's built to be a good asset. I do know that. So it has that scarcity, because if you hold it through time, it'll be inflating very little, but also has the opportunity. Here's the key thing. It has the opportunity that Bitcoin can never have, is to actually become deflationary. That's a beautiful thing. Same thing for Postchain. Beautiful thing. Now, with that being said, if we want to go through and compare it to Bitcoin and compare it to Ethereum, if there was no change, we're talking about, and let's look at the time frame of since the merge. Okay, so since they have changed this thing in the code, since that point, it is still deflationary. So there's less Ethereum than there was, on the date of the merge, September 2022, or especially, here we go, the merge. So Bitcoin has an inflation rate of 1.6 currently. Ethereum would have had an inflation rate of just about double, just about 3%. This is much better than Bitcoin from a percentage standpoint. and much better by magnitudes by what it would have been. So this is really cool. A lot of burn with minimal supply growth. Now, as of late, if you want to look over the past like 30 days, I think that'll be applicable. So let's use that time frame. Okay. So it's still a little bit inflationary, but still better than Bitcoin over the past 30 days even. Bitcoin is 0.8% of a percent. Ethereum is 0.5%. So still better than Bitcoin. Check that off on the box. Giving some locking gas information, the aspect of saying, hey, where can the supply be through time, depending on the usage, right? And this is fair. Going down through time is what we're looking for. A beautiful thing. The burn feature. I did a whole, go back and watch the catalog of streams I've done on this. The burn feature is something that increases the more that the network gets used. So per block, you're looking to say, hey, how much gas was used? Depending on how much gas was used, that's how much burn that you're getting, among some other things. So we want Uniswap to continue to do well, right? We want more protocol. That's the thing about Ethereum. It's able to scale and make more things to get use case to where it could increase the burn rate for Ethereum. That's something Bitcoin could never do. So it has things about it that can make it more scarce, where Bitcoin does not have that malleability. That's something that's a talking point for, and I'm just trying to give, if you're like an advisor at Fidelity or BlackRock, whatever, watch the stream. And this is going to help you make money because you can pitch this to your clients, right? So this is a beautiful thing. Dynamics that Bitcoin is not going to have. Okay. And it's going to lead, and it's going to tie into one of the major parts of cryptocurrency, but just finance in general. You cannot tell me that stable coins are going to be this active on Bitcoin. What do people do, right? What do people do when they sell their Bitcoin? They sell it for dollars, right? This fiat system. Now, yes, this is paired to a dollar, but this keeps it in-house. You still stay within crypto by going back to a stable coin versus the actual dollar. Both taxable things, yes, but it keeps you in the system. So, for example, Ethereum keeping people in the loop in the system, it makes it that much more easier for them not to have, I guess you can say, like a rigid standpoint of trying to get back to crypto. So imagine going from Ethereum and then having to go straight back to dollars, but then having to figure out having to go back to buy that Ethereum and trading those dollars. Like it's a lot versus saying, hey, I got my wallet. Let me sell some Ethereum, turn to USDC. Cool. Maybe you want to ride out a bear market, whatever. Oh, then boom, let me just switch back to Ethereum. Boom. Way less movement. That's something that they're going to realize in time. And it's because of stable coins that can do that. And once again, this Lido staked Ethereum, oh yeah, guess what? There's billions of dollars here, 34 billion. These inflows are going to be pretty nice. Now, are they going to be the same as Bitcoin? No, of course not. But 10 to 20% of what Bitcoin gets, yeah, that's reasonable for Ethereum to get in due time. And we're talking 6, 12 months, 18 months from now. So beautiful thing. Monetary premium. Like we're looking at annualized profits, right? 1.2 billion. So if you want to say, all right, cool, you can look at this as something that generates profit for the company, aka protocol, Ethereum. Where can you compare it to? The growth profile, right? You can say, okay, yes, this actually does have profits, right? There are profits here. Now, this is a beautiful thing. It's going to have a monetary premium in time. And we could slide this. So basically, if we want to compare it to things like, what's the monetary premium on Intel or Apple or Netflix, right? So the monetary premium for an Intel, it would put its price to earnings. So the actual price to what they are earning, we can see what the earnings for Ethereum is right here, 1.2 billion annualized. So we can actually get a PE type of read for Ethereum. So if we want to compare it to something that's $1 trillion like Apple, right? That would place this monetary premium about somewhere right here Apple is what, worth $1 trillion? I think that, and that's with a 22 price to earnings ratio. Okay. So that would take its monetary premium almost up to this here, right? This is a beautiful thing, right? Ethereum's monetary premium is here. So we're looking for the scarcity to continue to get high in market cap. If it gets to the same market cap, right, as gold, this is a gold bar right here. In terms of monetary premium, this is a beautiful thing. Number go up, beautiful thing. So there are talking points for Ethereum. It's just about if you know what they are. And generally it would be nice for these guys who are pitching this ETF product to learn these things, which they will in time. So this is exciting. I can't wait to kind of see what the next 4 to 6 months looks like for crypto. We may have some sideways chop. We may go up. We may go down. Nobody knows. But we can see the unraveling of pressure trying to hold crypto down. It's like a ball. A beach ball in water. If you try to push it down, guess what? If it's inflated enough, it has the right properties to go higher, it's going to go higher no matter how much you try to push it down. It's just a matter of time. And that's kind of what we're seeing here in crypto. It's just a matter of time before it eats everything. People capitulate. People realize how great it really is. And we're here for it. I remember I read something that was true, and I'm going to include this with all the crypto, not just Bitcoin, but it was saying Bitcoin is a IQ test. You get the price you deserve. Ethereum's the same way. Ethereum is an IQ test. You get the price you deserve. The more you understand, the more you have the opportunity just to buy it at a better price. That's just the way things work. You buy things at a better price, a lower price, that means you make more money the longer you hold it compared to everybody else. That's what we've been doing. And I'm going to keep rocking out, letting you guys know how it's done, how to be a successful investor. It looks like this. It's boring a lot of the time. It really is. But know how to identify good opportunities. Know how to just sit and chill. Don't mess it up. Learn how to keep adding to your bags through time. And then learn how to have some type of tax advantages that you may want to employ or basically deploy once you have a lot of, assets under your belt. That's what we all do. Or, that's not what every wealthy person does, but people that have figured out the things that have helped them not get expense ratioed out of all of their assets, right? So because expense ratio is saying, hey, for me to hold this thing, what type of expense do I need to have while I hold it? Real estate has a higher expense ratio. Why? You got to hold your real estate, but you also pay taxes and you also pay insurance, right? Other things that are assets that have an expense ratio, for example, a business. If you got a brick and mortar, you got to pay your rent, you got to do X, Y, and Z. There's expense to running that business and you get a little bit of profit to hopefully grow through time. Stocks, stocks have a lower expense ratio depending on, which ones you have. But crypto, expense ratio, 0. Once you buy it one time, you don't have to pay nothing continue. You just got to wait. Once people realize that, and once you get around to that, you're going to realize all those ideas you had of let me start a Turo company, let me do this other little side hustle, You're going to waste your time. Like literally, it can be as simple as buy the best stuff, the good stuff, right? Keep earning as much money as you can from what you're already good at or the job you already got. If you want to get a side hustle, cool. But like the side hustle is not going to be the thing that makes you wealthy. Like it's getting assets. Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos become wealthy by just, doing this and trading this and swapping it. No trading. All they did was just held their stock in their company that got better and better. And they got the adoption through time because it was good. Ethereum's getting the adoption through time because it's good. So it's best thing that we can do. We can just buy it and hold it. That's how we do it. And same thing with Elon. You want to know how he bought Tesla. He didn't sell a whole bunch of this and that and trade it. He kept his asset. All he did was get some, how do you say? Because I don't want to use the word leverage in terms of making people seem that you're trading. No, you can get good debt at a low interest rate on an asset that outpace that interest rate exponentially through time. And the key is getting a safe small amount. So that's the best part about it. Once you've grown your net save large enough, you can, and this is avoiding the whole tax implications that potentially you may or may not have, not tax advice, right? So learn from those that have done it, study it. I'm here to also tell you guys need to go research it yourself like I have and see how's it really done. And this is how your mind mentally, you can actually sleep at night and not have to worry about, oh, I got to do this move and that move. Like, makes life easier. So with that being said, I appreciate y'all for coming through. Hop into the Volta Crypto, you guys. VoltaCrypto.com. A great set of tools for you guys to use. And I'll be glad to have you guys. We talk about a lot of stuff that I don't talk about here on YouTube, and I help a lot of people in terms of how to go about this allocation and how to think the right way as an investor and how to make the moves and have the confidence in making the moves when they need to make them with all the tools that we have. So with that being said, let me put that in the chat. Come on in. It's worth it. It really is. And you have to find out for yourself. So with that being said, thank y'all for coming through. I'm going to catch you guys on the next video. All right. Peace.